Jams, jams, jams. Picture books and jams. Welcome, everybody, to PBJamz. Music and picture books. What a perfect sandwich. Squish them all together. What a yummy snack. PBJamz. Yummy books and music. PBJamz. Reading, writing, teaching. PBJamz. What a yummy treat. Jamming PBs all the time. PBJamz.
Afternoon, evening, or whatever time of day or night you are gathering with us, we are very happy that you are here. And I'm so excited because I am back here with my friend Fier Jasinski, and this is her second time on PBJamz, and I am so thrilled, especially this time because we have some fun things planned that we're going to do together because this new book from Jen and my debut book that's coming out in May have some real nice similarities. So we're looking forward to doing some things together, which is super exciting. In fact, you're going to see us together on PBJamz in a different format coming up a little bit later. So that's going to be super exciting. But also, you guys know, if you know me at all, you know what a big fan I am of My Piano, which was a spectacular book. The illustrations, the rhyme, all the content, all the layers. I mean, I brag about Jen's book all the time, so I know that you've heard me say that. And so this is the follow-up, and I'm so excited. This one is called My Violin. So welcome back, Jen.
Thank you. That's a great introduction. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Oh,
I'm
you
happy to
are
be
so
back, and I'm
welcome.
happy that we're teaming up.
Yeah, so much fun things in store. So, we chatted last time about My Piano, which, like I said, is so full of layers, and it's kind of the house that Jack built kind of cumulative structure. And so, talk to us about how we came from My Piano to My Violin and kind of how that process worked, what the inspiration was, why you chose violin for your second subject, and all the things.
Sure. Yeah, it's kind of a short story. I think there was an international sales team meeting going on about my piano, and someone there said, "Oh, have you thought about my violin?" And then there it was. And so Sandra was like, "Would you like, what do you think?" And I was like, "Let's try." And it worked out. I was intimidated by it when I first started because I had never, well, my piano is my first book, so obviously never had used my own work as a mentor text before. Um, and I was a little intimidated because, like you said, I was like, oh, there's a lot of parameters I have now for myself, the cumulative structure and the rhyme, um, and I need a social emotional layer. So at first I was worried, but then once I started getting into it, it kind of expedited my process because it either it rhymes or it doesn't, it works or it doesn't, and you just kind of move on to the next thing. I wasn't trying to make things work. So yeah, so it's been a lot of fun, and I've learned a ton about violins.
I bet you have. Yeah. That's really a cool point, like using your own very first book as a mentor text. Like what was that experience? I mean, like were you going back and doing a page by page comparison
Yeah.
and kind of shaking it down?
Yeah, because that's how I do. That's how I write a lot of manuscripts. Once I have mentor texts, is I type out my mentor texts, and then I will maybe make a table and do both. So I did. I wrote a table, and I wrote my own manuscript again. Um, but it just helped me the process of typing it and then doing it again. So I don't know if that's what other people do, but it worked for me to have them side by side.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So now I was trying to remember from our first conversation, do you play piano? No.
No,
Okay. I was thinking not,
no,
but I was like, oh, I
I
don't
know.
remember. So both of these instruments were just kind of new to you, right? You don't play violin either, right?
I don't play anything.
Okay.
I I don't know how to read music. I haven't gotten there. So,
That's okay.
but
That's okay.
appreciate it.
For those of you who don't know, Jen's other book just hit the USA bestseller list, so it's okay that you don't read music or play violin or piano, Jen, because not
Yeah.
everybody can say that they hit the bestsellers list. So y'all go check that book out too. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end. But But yeah, so a lot of research I would imagine for both of these then.
Yeah, I found a number of because both of the books are really how things work, and it's all about the interconnectedness of the pieces. So,
Yeah.
like you said, how things work books. I was glad to hear you say that because I often I like to say that they're both how things work books and like music,
Yeah.
and social emotional, but really the how things work thing doesn't always come up in conversations, I
Really?
guess. Not as much. Yeah.
That's
It's like a
interesting.
piano book, and a recital book more
Hmm.
or things. So, but um anyways, I dug pretty deep into thankfully there is a YouTube content creator, Olaf the violin maker. He's a
Oh,
luthier, and so I watched almost everything he has out, and then read articles and other things as well. But it was interesting to learn. I mean, I really was fascinated how energy travels through the instrument and bounces around and comes out. It was exciting. Um, I like understanding when you don't even know you don't know something or hadn't thought about it, and then you dig in and you get
right.
deeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. I that's why I like to do this sort of stuff. It's because it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Um,
we do. We learn so much as we go through these processes for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's so interesting to me that people aren't really picking up on how things work as
I
being a
guess just
main layer.
I don't often have conversations like this to this degree about,
Right,
I guess, what
gotcha.
the books are. So it's just not the first thing. They're like, oh, it's about a girl playing the piano at a recital.
Uh-huh.
And it is. It is. That's
It
true.
is. It is. Yeah. But it's so
Uh,
much more than that too.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's very cool. Um yeah, it was funny because no, I'm not even gonna say that. Never mind. Um I'll tell you that later
Oh,
maybe.
I was gonna say also I got to meet, this is really cool. I don't know if they would have come up, but I got to once we had sketches of the My Violin, I was able to meet with a local luthier in my area, and went into the workshop, and that was like so cool also. And then he went through and helped me go through and it's like hand placement or these parts should be a little further apart or bow placement. And it was really helpful because I just told him I was really hoping wanted to make it as accurate a depiction as possible for people who are kids who are learning how to play the violin. Let's represent it as correctly as possible. Because I don't know, I have
Yeah.
to see a piano tuner for my piano and the luthier for my violin, which has been it's cool.
Yeah. So he kind of was your expert to kind of look at everything and make sure that you had been accurate in your text as well as the illustrations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In addition to the research I wanted, right, someone to look at the whole picture.
Mhm.
His name's Joseph Yu, and he's in Fairfax with his violin shop. It was a cool experience. And like a year before that, I didn't even know that I ever wanted to go to a violin making shop,
Right.
workshop. So, um, then I was so excited to go.
Yeah. Yeah. We geek out about some interesting
So
things in this
serious geek
business.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So has this inspired you to want to play an instrument doing these two books?
Um, no, I don't think I'm going to. I
Yeah.
want I want to I don't know. That's a good question. I'd like to play around with it and do it, but I don't think right now I would be committing to like lessons and
Yeah.
stuff like
I feel that because I think, it is a commitment and I think, I bought a ukulele a couple of years ago. If this is your first time joining us, like I teach K2 music in my day job. And so I bought a ukulele because I thought this would be really fun to play with the kids, and then as I'm entering in my author era, it'll be fun to have the ukulele too. And I was like, yeah,
that.
I'm gonna just pick up the ukulele. It's supposed to be easy. And how many times have I taken that ukulele out of that box?
Yes.
That would be one time, and that is it. And it's because like you have to practice and you have to learn and put that into and it's hard and it's time consuming and we're busy people and it's just hard to commit to that. So even though like yeah, I want to play a lot of instruments, but committing the time and energy to do that is a whole nother ball of wax, as they say.
Right. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Maybe another time of life, but
Yeah. I get it. I get
yeah.
it. So, anything else that you want to? I mean, obviously, the journey for this book was a lot simpler because you already had the publisher for My Piano, and so this one was just kind of following suit. Was there anything unusual, or any hiccups that you ran across as you were journeying this book from beginning to end?
No, um, I'll say I was I noodled with the idea. I was just kind of playing around, wanting to do it for a while, but my kids were even younger then, so we were in like double toddler stage then.
Wow,
So it was when I was away at a writing retreat that it was like, this is what I'm doing in my room, holed away. But it was also um, because I was there, I was with my critique group at the time, and I always just think that's the most like the best kind of magic you can get when you're writing. I mean,
absolutely.
being able to work with people right away. So yeah, this I actually have this my violin is dedicated to my critique partners just because I feel like they are a big part of everything. But really, I did it. Um, they read it a lot of times in a couple days.
Right, right, right. Like this is the only time I have. You got to help me get this
I need
ready.
help. This is I
Yeah,
have nothing else right now.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
did. I feel that.
so and then yeah, and then it also, I'll talk about Anita coming getting the sketches. I mean, she blew me away with my piano, but then I think she outdid herself with outdid an amazing job with my violin, and she added some really cool layers.
Yeah.
I kind of envisioned that this was going to be a student, a child who was learning how to play violin on their own, and then joined like what I'm more familiar with is, and then going and joining the school strings. But she
Mhm.
made it much more heartfelt and um, community and
Mhm.
really community oriented with her layers, and having the grandfather be a luthier was a really great
Yeah.
element and really makes me, makes everyone care more and cheer for our character. And yeah, she just did a great job. And we played around with the social emotional layer. That was an early conversation too that Sandra and I had, is that we wanted it to be different from my piano. So it wasn't going to be another single performance. So we wanted it to have a group layer this time. Um, and then I was excited to kind of take that once I was boxed into the old format. I think that's why I decided to start as a soloist and then into a group. But yeah, it's interesting how different people's input and ideas all come together, and you're like, that's so much better. Like,
Right, right,
yeah.
yeah. I just think that whole revision process, but yes, those ideas. It was funny because something I had written and I had sent it to a critique partner. She was like, "Oh, I really like this," and I was like, "Oh, that's good because that was your line. You're the one that you're the one that suggested that. So I'm glad you like it."
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I recently did a school visit um where I talked about that, where I was like, it's not my phrase. Someone else has said picture books are a team sport. Um but I like it that, I mean, with my critique partners, I'll be like, that's my title, or like that was my joke, or
right,
whatever. And I call myself
right.
like a book auntie of those.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah,
And then the
it
kids
feels
are,
just as exciting, I think, to
it
see
is.
something in print that you helped hone, and like it you do kind of feel some ownership, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had to tell the kids, it's like book auntie is not a real term. Like anyone else. It's not like the author, the illustrator, the editor, the book auntie. But
Well, I mean,
um,
surely if we can have what is it fairy book mothers or whatever? I mean, surely we can have book aunties. I think we
yeah,
should make it official. I like
here
it.
today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'm going to borrow that for sure.
Yeah.
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 Well, it was so cool because I was reading to my students at school Kaipoche.
Huh?
Yeah, Suhasini Gupta, the author, and I helped work on that. I edited a little bit with her and did some critique work with her on a couple of versions of that. And so it was fun, to be able to tell the kids. I did not say I was the book auntie though, but I was a missed opportunity, and I will
Next time.
definitely use that next time. Yeah, for sure, for
It's
sure.
fun. That's so cool
Yeah.
that you're involved in that. That's a great book.
It is a great book. It's super, super fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so I mean, obviously we've been tap dancing all around the music in the
Yeah.
book. I mean, it's called My Violin, and but let's talk just a little bit more deeply about where the music shows up, and it shows up in a few places in a few different ways, and it's really from cover to cover. But let's talk about the beginning, and the structure of the violin is one place where music shows up. And you said lots of research and interviews with the luthier and watching the videos and all of that. Really fascinating, as you were alluding to a minute ago, about how the sound travels and all of that, the complexity of that sound and how all that works. Is there anything else you'd like to say about that part of the musical part of the book?
Mm, probably not that part. I think that's it. And the diagram is always helpful. So thank you,
The
Anita.
diagram, yeah, and Anita's art again, and just all those the detail in the luthier shop with all, I mean, like all of that is just really really cool.
Mhm.
Um, but then it does morph, as you talked about, into this group performance at the end of the book, and
Mhm.
I love, oh my goodness, I love so much about that. I love Anita's illustrations. I love the instruments that she chose, and the kids just, it's just, it's just
Yeah.
chef's kiss. But what would you like to say about it? Because I could talk about it for a long time.
No, no. I mean, yeah, I'm like Anita's illustrations are not to be missed. They're just she knocked it out of the park for sure. No, I guess in terms of that part, yeah, we talked about I liked talking about like learning about how melody is passed between players. That was cool as I was researching and learning, and I was like, I know I want that in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, and then it lended well to back matter on melody and harmony, which it's a conversation I frequently am like, tell me again, which to my like my husband or other musicians. I'm like, I know it, but let's just make sure I'm connecting
Yeah.
right people. So it was fun to put that in. And then talking about, I mean, the back matter has a good bit of additional layers with duo, trio, um, orchestra and ensembles. So yeah, it's fun. It is cover to cover.
It really is. I mean, absolutely beginning to end, music is just in every single phrase, every single illustration, all the way through. The lyricism of your writing, which is beautiful. And I think this book is a really good example. Like, I was just looking at that spread that says slow, fast, the melody's past, and just how much that's a very simple set of lines, but there's so much in the illustrations there. So I think this book is a beautiful example of how we write this text, and then the illustrator comes in and adds like all of this stuff that you never even really probably thought about. At least that was the case for me. Like stuff I never would have imagined in a million years showed up,
Yeah.
and it's so cool, right?
I love studying the art in yours and how, I mean, I think I've told you that before. Like, wow, like one that I could see so many people being um limited in their thinking about like, well, this is one time and place and what the scenes won't change, but like those that art is captivating
Yeah.
in your book and
Yeah.
it keeps you going and it's not you don't at all feel like you're standing still.
And
Yeah.
it's such a good reminder to us as writers, I think, to, we talk all the time about leave room for the illustrator. And, we talk about, don't describe things, but it's so much more than just not describing things, right? It's like this, some of your text is very detailed when you're talking about the parts of the violin in that first
Mhm.
section. When you move into this second section where the kid is learning to play with other people in that ensemble, that really is a whole nother set of skills, like to play or sing with an ensemble is a whole nother level of musicality. And so to watch that kind of come to life, and then you've got these little short, but then that's where the illustrations really shine. So in the beginning, I think your text is like, and I mean they're just a beautiful marriage. I don't mean to elevate one over the
Oh,
other
no.
at
Oh,
any
no.
point, but I
Yeah.
believe in the first part, like your text really just shines and elevates the whole story,
Mhm.
and she's supporting you right? And then I think it flip flops just a little bit, and not at all that the writing
We're
is
a team. It's a
beautiful all the
team.
way through.
Yeah.
It's a team. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful and such a
Yeah.
nice example. But I also think her illustrations at the end here, and if you guys have not seen it, you need to go buy it, borrow it. I won't say steal it, but if that's the only way you can get, no, just kidding. But but in all seriousness, like the art at the end too is, I mean, just so beautiful, and how she gives each instrument its own little color. It reminded me of oh my gosh, I've lost the word, in Harry Potter.
Patronus?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminded me so much of the Patronuses in Harry Potter. I'm like, oh man, this is
Yeah. I can see
so
that.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Each kiddo gets their own story and
Yeah.
how they come together. Yeah.
Their
She
own
wove a lot.
color and their own little kind of signature, element. And then it just all kind of swirls together into this beautiful. And it really is what it's like listening to, an ensemble play together very well. Like each one has its own little flavor and its own little part. But then it comes together to be this beautiful masterpiece.
Yeah.
And it's so
Yeah.
cool that the music is doing that, but then the book is also doing that.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I agree with you. Yeah, the ending is something I'm proud of. That I remember being in an airport and being like, oh, I think I just figured out what I want the ending to be.
That last
Um,
line is
and I was excited.
so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So I liked the energy that it carried through. So yeah, no, I agree with you that it is. Yeah, it's a lot like we're passing it around, Nina and I.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. You're right.
yeah.
Like the melody being passed, and yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. That
Yeah.
heart of the story being passed too, and
Mhm.
the kind of main. Yeah, that's a great way to think about it, passing the melody. I always think about New Orleans jazz when I think about passing the melody because, they just do that improvisational, like it's so cool when they do that. Like they'll this instrument or this artist will take the melody, and then it's the next instrument doing a different little riff on the melody is so cool.
Yeah. My husband's a jazz musician, and that is one of my favorite things when I'm watching. It's just like, oh wait, there it is. They got it.
Yep.
Okay, and how they all listen and they're in tune. And I think that probably is part of why when I was researching it, I was like, I want that in
Yeah.
somewhere,
Yeah.
somewhere. But it is,
It,
it's cool. It's
it
art. It's
it's
fun.
cool. It is. It is
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, oh, so much music. So much music. It's so beautiful. The illustrations, the gloss, I mean everything about it is just absolutely spectacular. Love it so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the musicality, we talked about the journey. So as you and we've already covered a lot. So
Yeah. Yeah.
if you but if you think about people sharing this book with kids, what is something that you really hope they don't miss? What is something you hope that they really notice and they share with the kids that they're reading with?
Yeah. I think it's probably what we just talked about. I hope that's not a problem.
No, it's not a problem. I kind of thought it was probably something we had
Yeah,
already
I
covered.
think it's probably that. I mean, the working together and but also there's a bit of a we could say resiliency piece or grit piece where the kid is not picking it up right away. It's not like they get this, they love their violin right at the beginning, but it doesn't sound great right away.
Mhm.
They have to learn it, and that's a process. But there isn't really like a big frustration moment about it. So,
Right.
um, not kids can get frustrated in their real lives about it, but I guess noticing that happens and where it goes from there could be something. But yeah, probably the coming together and the stories working together and everyone,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
working. Yeah, I'll also say Sandra, and no, but I mean, obviously her direction also is super helpful, with her um revision notes and um, I'm sure when she checks in with Anita too, it's just she knows she pairs, I think, pairs creatives really well and gives great breathing room for everybody to weigh in and give their ideas, but she definitely also like has the a good vision and she's able to
Yeah.
communicate it and then, step in and step out. So yeah.
Yeah, I love every book I think that I've seen come from Gnome Road. I think they're just building something really spectacular. And
Yeah.
I still have my eye on a book with them at some point. Maybe one day. I know my fingers are crossed too. Like hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
think you'd
just
be so well suited for that with your education background.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
One of these
Yeah.
days. One of these
Yeah.
days. Not yet, but one of these days. I am manifesting it as we speak for
I am as
sure.
well because we'll manifest that also if you want. I'll read it if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we can talk, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Let's make that happen.
Yeah.
So, we could chat about this book for a really long time. Luckily, you're going to have another chance to hear us talk about uh,
Yes.
Jen's book and my book and another creator's book that we'll get into a little bit later. So we're going to get to dig a little bit deeper in some different ways in a couple of weeks. But as we round out this episode, talk to us about what. So, I mean, you've had a crazy busy year. So, Jen's had three books come out in seven, or will have had when this one launches. She will have had three books in 7 months. So, that's already like crazy, crazy busy and fun and exciting and all the things. But can you talk to us? And you're welcome to share any of those projects that we haven't talked about. But
Yeah.
also, like, do you have anything else coming down the pipeline? What are you working on? Or, any special appearances that you're going to be making that people want to be on the lookout for, or that kind of thing. So, like,
Mhm.
what's next for Jen?
Oh, what's next? Yeah, no, like you said, it's been a exciting and busy in a very happy way
Yeah.
7 months. And I've learned a lot, which has been great. And yeah, so Sidewalk Chalk was a lot of fun. Um, it's a book I'm really enjoying. I'm really enjoying sharing it. I'm really enjoying that I have a title that I can talk about with with younger audiences and school visits and things like that. Has been really fun and I like developing story time and author presentations around books. So it's been good. And that's been doing well. And it was nominated or shortlisted for a Clell Bell in Colorado by their librarians for early literacy. And that's just like fabulous news when you learn that your book has not, it's wonderful when someone says they read your book and they enjoyed it, but then to find out that they're using it to educate somebody else and little kids is like the best news. Really the dream. So that was a huge honor. And yeah, and then Because of You, I'm a Sister came out, it's March now, so last month. Um, and yeah, USA Today bestseller. Um, I yeah, it's awesome.
Feels
Um,
surreal.
yeah, I'm not yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking coherently, I guess, about it, but it's exciting and
So
fun and been nice to get information from people just that happy tears
yeah.
and memories and things like that sending to their sisters or to soon to be sisters. But
Yeah.
it's what we hoped would happen, but it's always special
Yeah.
when it does. So that's been great. And then yeah, my violin. This is so exciting. It's getting me even more excited for April, and we'll be doing things. I'm hoping for in terms of events. I'm hoping that we get to do some together.
I know.
Uh, and then I'll be visiting my local bookstores, um, which is so much fun. But yeah, and hopefully getting into my hopes for. I don't have a 2027 title, so I'll be using that time to write new stuff, polish stuff. I am still querying for an agent at this time, and I'll also be making the portfolio of workshops for schools more robust.
Right.
Maybe doing some critiques if anybody's interested. They could look at my website.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just just doing more of that. And then there's more to come, but not that I could talk about yet, but I can share that I have exciting, happy things to share soon.
Nice.
Um,
Yay.
so that'll be great. And yeah, I just feel like it wasn't long ago that I was um really afraid to even tell people that I wanted to do this. Like
Yeah.
as not just a hobby, not I guess afraid, but it felt took me a little while to commit to it being my work than
Hmm.
saying I'm going to go do work instead of like saying, oh, I just write as a hobby. So it still feels I still feel there sometimes, which is good because it means I'm still enjoying it in that way. But it's also wild when it's like, oh yeah, there are books.
What I do. Yeah. Yeah.
I have books. Yeah, so it's great. So yeah, I'm trying to think. Trying to work flex my non grow my nonfiction muscles this year too.
Nice.
I'm going to be trying,
Yeah.
so I'll be, looking your being studying your book and some other people's books, some more in that regard. So
Yeah, that diversification, we keep hearing more and more about how important that is. The picture book market is a tough sell right now, and so a lot of people are trying to branch out and look at some different genres and different areas or different styles of writing. And so, yeah, it's a good time to flex some new muscles and get some new skills.
yeah, remind myself that sweating means I'm growing, and
I know,
that's a good
right?
thing. Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that range, having more range though is a
for
hope.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah,
Always a good thing.
and
Well,
having
and I
fun.
hope that really you're going to take some time just to rest after launching 3 books. You're going to need
Yeah,
some downtime too. Like,
yeah. Next year's my
yeah.
last year with a preschooler before my youngest goes to
Oh,
kindergarten the
wow.
following. So I was saying in some ways it'll be good to have a more flexible. I mean, I'm with
Yeah.
her plenty, but it'll be.
Sure.
I'm glad to not be. I'm happy to have that time. I don't know. I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm talking about that, but I'm bringing it up. It's on my
No,
mind.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because I mean, this is very busy and you're tied down a lot. And so that'll be nice to have some time just to enjoy some mom time with her before. I mean, it goes so fast, right? I'm not a mom, I'm an auntie. I'm a real auntie, not just a book
Yeah.
auntie, but but yeah, I know from being an auntie and from being a teacher, like that time just goes so stinking fast and you just really want to soak up every second of it. So I think that's good timing. I hope you have a great time just getting to put a little bit of author stuff on the back burner a little bit and soak up
Yeah.
that family time. That's important.
Yeah. It's all balance always, right?
Always. Yep. Yep. And it's always a challenge, all that balance.
Mhm.
What a fun conversation this has been. We could chat a long time.
Thank you for
Um,
having me again.
yeah, of course. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Love it when I see you have new musical books coming out. So, I'm going to remind you guys that, some great ways to support the authors on PBJams or any of your favorite authors is, of course, to do reviews, reviews, reviews. We especially need those reviews on Amazon. You don't have to even purchase them on Amazon. You may not know that, but you can go to Amazon even if you bought the book somewhere else, or even if you want a copy of the book, you can go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Goodreads and leave reviews on all three. They help us in different ways, but Amazon is the one that really bumps us up in the algorithm and helps Amazon be able to like recommend our books in that section that says if you read this you might like this. So we want our books to show up there, so you guys can help us out by doing those reviews if you enjoy the books that you're reading. And then doing requests for your local library is super, super helpful and important. Buying copies for your kids' teachers, it's a great, May is right around the corner. In fact, I think I don't. I think this is launch. I mean, I think this episode is either late April or early May. So it's a great time to do teacher appreciation. So this book will make a great gift for the music teachers in your world, or if your kid takes private music lessons, perfect gift. Giving them as gifts is great if you don't want to add it to your own personal library or buy it for your child. Just so many great ways to support authors. Word of mouth, I always talk about this because I think it's the most powerful way, because you know your friends, you know what they're interested in. So if you have people in your life who enjoy music or who play the violin or who are interested in the violin or whatever, share it with them and let them check it out from the library or buy themselves a copy or buy a copy for them. So, all the good ways that you can support authors. And it's not a very lucrative business, honestly. Like, we don't it's much like teaching. I said one of these days I'm going to choose a career path that is like I can be in it for the money, but so far I am zero for zero.
Same.
So I mean, really and truly, I know sometimes the misconception is that authors make a ton of money, but we don't get very much money at all for our books. And so this is just a great way that you can help us to just to get the word spread about our books and to help us make the most of that time. So check out Jen, check out our website. All that's going to be linked below, along with tons of teaching ideas. So you can use this with your students, or if you're a homeschool or a family or a daycare or preschool, like I've got all that covered. Going to give you lots of great tips. If you're a writer, Jen's going to share some writing tips with you, some of her best tips. I'm going to share some writing prompts with you, ways that you can take some of the ideas in this book and go a whole nother direction and do your own writing or share the prompts with your kids. There's going to be so much down below. Make sure you check all of that out. And she's doing a giveaway too, a book and some swag from My Violin. So all you have to do to be entered is to leave a comment down below. If you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you go to the website and leave that comment there on the website so we can enter you in the giveaway, because we would love for you to win a copy of this beautiful book. And stay tuned, because Jen and I are going to be back in a couple of weeks and share some more fun things. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
It has been fun. Always fun. And
Always.
thank you guys for being here too. You've made it all the more fun. We hope you've had fun too, and we hope we'll see you next time on PBJamz.
Thank you.
All the time, PBJamz, songish books and bookish songs, tips for music teachers, interviews and book reviews, a little singing and dancing,